Hi, I'm John Cilio with the Privacy Project, and I'm sitting here comfortably in my office as the East Coast cleans up from Hurricane Sandy and the resulting superstorm that followed. You know, these folks are going to need our help, and with that in mind, all of us at the Privacy Project have pooled our knowledge and the types of scams and fraud that come out of the woodwork in the aftermath of these disasters. We call them disaster scams. By the way, we've seen pretty much all of these before when we went through Hurricane Katrina. I was sitting here reading the USA Today, which of course is all about the disaster. Think about it. You've just survived a foot of rain and the floods and fires and power outages, and you're so focused on your physical safety and that of your family that the last thing on your mind is protecting your financial privacy, your identity. Sometimes just knowing that these scams exist, knowing in advance, will push you to prevent them. With that in mind, here are the top 3 disaster scams that we see. Number 1, imposters posing as emergency and relief workers. Oh, this one makes me sick. When we go into crisis mode, like those who have just come through the storm, we tend to trust anyone who offers help because we're in so much need. And while it's a good reflection on human nature that we're trusting by nature, it can be somewhat dangerous in a disaster. So, if a FEMA or Red Cross worker or other aid worker or policeman, whatever, approaches you and asks for information, asks you to share your personal information, don't immediately give it away. Verify their credentials first. Ask for a photo ID. Ask for something that proves who they say they are. Believe it or not, these scammers fly into town after a disaster and are fairly prepared. Sometimes they even come with fake credentials. Believe it or not, these fraudsters will fly into town on the heels of a disaster and take advantage of you being in crisis mode. The second type of scams are fraudulent contractors, whether they're cleanup services or construction companies or repair crews that are actually in the business of trolling for your sensitive information. Here's what they do. After a disaster, this subculture comes into town, subculture of scumbags, visits town pretending to be there to help you clean up and recover from this disaster. But what they're actually looking for is your social security number, your bank accounts, your checks or driver's licenses, passports, smartphones, iPads, laptops, anything with data on them that they can use or sell. During the cleanup phase, you need to be very aware that you have to be present. You have to be on site watching what is recovered, what is thrown away, and what is removed off of site. You need to watch out for phony inspectors, verify their credentials, and make sure that nobody is walking away with the digital identity contents of your life. The third form, this really gets to me, false charities. Direct victims of the storm are not the only victims of a disaster. Scammers know that millions of dollars in donations will be given in response to Sandy, and they're very crafty about going after your generosity. They generally do it by setting up websites that appear to be legitimate charities providing relief to the victims of the storm. Their only intention, however, is to collect your private information, much like they would in an email phishing scheme. To protect yourself, make sure that you donate to established, reputable charities like the Red Cross, and don't rely on a third party to make the donation for you. Do it directly. Surf right to their website to donate. Don't click on links in an email or a tweet or on a social media page, as it might lead you to an imposter site. Legitimate charities will not ask you to wire transfer money. Also, stay away from donating cash, as you have no way to electronically track the transactions. Beware of organizations with copycat names that are close to the charity that you want to give to. And if you feel pressured by a charity to give, don't. It's probably a scam. Never give your personal information to a charity that is soliciting donations. If you haven't initiated the contact, stop it and get in touch in person. And finally, to do everything we can to help out the victims. All of us here at the Privacy Project would like to donate a free copy, a digital copy of my Identity Theft Prevention and Recovery Workbook titled Think Like a Spy. I can't give it away for free forever, But for now, please get these into the hands of the people that deserve and need them. Our thoughts are with all of the victims and the people in the path of Sandy, and we hope you recover well. For the Privacy Project, thank you. I'm John Cilio.